Hi guys, and today I am joined by the one and only blogger, vlogger, author, musical theatre performer and recording artist.
Now,
Carrie Hope Fletcher. How's it going?
Yeah, great, thank you.
Yeah, I'm really good. Let's talk about your album. It all seemed to come around quite quickly. All of a sudden you announced you were doing a concert and then you were doing an album. Like, take us through what happened there and like how's this whirlwind experience been of doing an album?
Well, for me it's been like 2 years coming because Darren Bell, I knew him as a photographer, still is a photographer, wonderful photographer. He's done sort of 3 sets of my headshots, and every time I see him he's like, come on, let's do a concert, like you've never done a concert, would you be up for it? And I always find a way to put it off because I'm terrified of being myself on stage. And it's just lucky that I've always been busy, and so I've always had a reason to put it off. And then this year was relatively quiet for me. And he asked just at the right time, it was like, concert? And I was like, yeah, go on, let's do it. So that's sort of like been 2 years in talks. And whilst we were talking about the concerts, Mark McBride and Darren Bell, who are Club 11, said to me that they're producing the concerts, and they said, why don't we do an album? Like, we've always wanted to do an album with an artist. Why don't we do it off the back of the concerts, or like to go alongside the concerts? And I sort of was like, yeah, that sounds like fun, why not, let's do it. I'd never really given much thought to it, and then all of a sudden I was in a meeting for it, and I was like, oh, it's actually happening, okay,
and it was
great.
In like what was it, 3 months ago?
Yeah,
like it all happened, and now it's about to come out next week.
I think it took us from sitting down and talking about it to it being finished was 57 days. That's insane.
That's, yeah, when you listen back to it, do you even remember it all happening?
Yeah, we had such an amazing week, recording all of the band and then doing my vocals, and it was sort of 7 or 8 days in total, like doing all of the recording, and it was so much fun just to be in a room with incredibly talented people and such lovely people. It was so amazing to be in a room with people who are genuinely passionate about what they were doing, and Tom Barnes, who did all of the arrangement for it, he's honestly a complete genius and also the nicest man on the planet. So it's just so nice to have people who are passionate about what they do, good at what they do, and lovely people all in a room together, all working together. It was just such a pleasure.
And how did you come up with the songs for it? I haven't heard it yet, but I've seen the track list.
Yes.
So tell us about some of the songs that are on it and why you decided to choose those.
I had an extensive list of songs that I wanted to go on the album. If it had been up to me, it would have been like a 5-disc album because I had so many songs that I love dearly, or that have sentimental significance to me. But we had to narrow it down to 12 tracks, and every track on the album is it's sentimental to me, but sentimental for a reason that it's like maybe a pivotal moment in my life.
Okay.
For instance, Summertime is the song that started it all for me. It was the first song I ever learned. My dad taught it to me when I was,
He's on the album, isn't he?
He starts it off. He starts off that song. Yeah, he's playing. He's a great guitarist. My dad. He used to be in a band that used to play around like pubs and clubs and YMCA's when my brother was young, but.
Right.
That was sort of all over by the time I was born. But he still plays guitar. You can still find him in his garden playing guitar. But yeah, I had to get him on that track, and that song is, so it feels like such a pivotal song for me because it was the first song I ever learned. And still at like Fletcher family parties, it will take about 10 minutes before the guitars come out anyway. But I'll always be able to hear Dad play the opening notes, like the opening chords, and I'll see him like looking at me, hopefully, like to sing along with him. And we always end up singing that every time my dad's got a guitar in his hand. So I was like, I can't make an album without that song being there.
Yeah.
And equally, all the songs on the album have a story or a memory behind it.
Now, let's talk about your YouTube stuff for a minute.
Yeah.
How do you, because obviously I've been trying to get into the YouTube stuff a bit more since I came out as not an old woman.
Yeah,
because that's
that
very
big
much,
reveal.
Yeah, the blogging world has very much turned into the vlogging world. But, so I'm interested to know how you go about creating videos. Like, do you sit there and plan what you're going to do? Do you script them? Do you spend a lot of time editing?
I always spend a lot of time editing because I'll upload videos and look back at it and be like, oh, I could have changed that. Like, a video will never be done for me, but there comes a point where you've just got to go, okay, it's finished. But I think it depends what the subject matter is, depending on how much I script it beforehand. If it's sort of like a touchy subject or you know, something to do with an organisation like a charity. If I'm talking about that, I need to make sure all the information's correct and I've planned it all out and all my points are succinct and coherent and accurate. But if it's just an offhand sort of vlog, or I'm sat talking about like my concerts or my albums and stuff, things that are, you know, are mainly about me, I probably won't script it because I want it to feel as natural.
I just find it annoying when you get halfway through filming something and then you think, oh, I haven't made the bed. You can see very clearly the bed isn't made. Like the things you have to, I guess, you think about.
Oh, see, I'm like 7 years in now and I don't care anymore.
No.
I've given up. There's always something in the background that people probably shouldn't see. I've given up caring now.
If you're going to do one thing for the rest of your life, out of all of the jobs you do,
it would be musicals.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I've spent my entire life building up to, and that's been the dream ever since I can remember. Like I can't remember not wanting to be in musicals. And it's funny, it was actually I've had a conversation today and a conversation yesterday about this, and I remember there being like a pivotal moment in my life where someone said to me, oh, but you don't want to be stuck in musicals all your life, do you? And I remember taking such offence to that that I was like, that was like a pivotal moment for me where I was like, actually, yes, I do.
Yeah.
And you only consider it being stuck if you don't enjoy it. And I love it, and I've always loved it, and I would happily just go from musical to musical for the rest of my life and not have anyone know my name as long as I was still enjoying myself, and I can't ever see myself not enjoying it.
And speaking of musicals, we're living in a time where books and films are being adapted onto the stage.
Yeah.
Is there anything, like I've been championing for Labyrinth, the musical.
Oh, that'd be ace.
And I've heard Moulin Rouge is coming
Yes,
out.
yeah, I've heard rumours about that too.
Are there any books or films that are on your list of ones that you wish they put on stage?
One of mine, maybe. No, I'm kidding. There are so many incredible books that I've read over the past few years, actually. I've always wanted The Night Circus to be musical, and a friend of mine actually started adapting it into a musical, and I went in and sang on some demos, and it was incredible. But it's just a book that really lends itself to stage, I think, because it's all set in a circus, and it's all sort of like the book itself is even colour themed, and you can just see it going up on stage with the blacks and the whites and the reds, and it just being such a colourful, vibrant, incredible show with such a diverse cast. I think it would be amazing on stage, and I can't believe it's not been done yet.
Okay. Now, just to finish up, your concerts that you're doing in Cadogan Hall,
Yes.
31st and the 1st of April.
That's the one.
What can people expect from the concerts?
I wanted it to feel very. I didn't want to stray too far from who I am, which is, you know, the Disney-loving musical theatre freak that I am. But I think it's the first time where I've allowed myself to be a little bit self-indulgent and sing the songs that I've never sung live before, and maybe will never get the chance to sing live before because I'm just not the right casting, or I just won't be lucky enough to ever get those roles in the future, who knows. But I think I'm really having fun coming up with a set list. Well, we've come up with a set list, but rehearsing it now, because we're doing sort of different versions of songs, and singing some songs from the album. I've got guests with me as well. I'm bringing back Rob Houchin, who was my Maris for 3 years, and Oliver Ormson, who was my onstage fiance in The Addams Family. And yeah, it's really exciting because it's the first time I've ever done anything like this, and so I don't think anyone's gonna really know what to expect until I'm stood up there on stage.
Are there any plans to go further with it, like a tour? I mean, you're pretty well known all around.
Possibly, who
the
knows?
world.
I'm a little bit terrified about doing this because I was going to say I'm not good at being myself on stage. I've been told I am good at being myself on stage, but I'm just terrified of it. So we'll see how these ones go before I make any long-term commitments.
Great. Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
My pleasure.
Good luck
Thank you
with
for
the
having
album.
me. Thank you.
I will put a link in the description below to where you can buy tickets to Carrie's concerts next week, and also a link to where you can pre-order the album.
Thank you very much.
Friday.
Yes, the 30th. Oh my god, it's next Friday. Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are recording a couple of videos today with Carrie, so you can see those when they go live as well. We are going to be doing a Q&A with some of your fan questions.
Yep.
And we're also going to play a quickfire question game,
Love
knowing
it.
me, knowing you.
Great.
So subscribe to my channel and make sure you check those out. Thanks very much.